Good morning. My name is Clarence Thomas. I'm a third-generation longshoreman. I'm a member of the International Longshore and Warehouse Union Local 10. I am not here speaking for Local 10. I am the national co-chair of the Million Worker March movement, which has endorsed and supported the Occupy movement. I'm here today speaking as the co-chair of the Million Worker March movement, and I would just like to take just a moment to frame my remarks by quoting from Harry Bridges. Something special happened in the spring and summer of 1934. Maritime workers who had been considered little more than ignorant roustabouts took history into their own hands. They built a powerful new movement from the ground up, waged a complex and bitter strike along the length of the Pacific seaboard, and conducted the only successful general strike in the country's history. They proved that they could win and win big. Their success stimulated hundreds of thousands of other workers to organize. In the long run, they raised the standard of living of nearly every man, woman, and child on the coast and created working conditions which became the envy of millions of workers in the rest of the nation. One of the real contradictions that took place in 1934 during that great strike was that black people, by and large, were prevented from working on the waterfront. The only time we really had a chance to work on that waterfront were as scabs. Harry Bridges and other militants of the left of the Longshore Union realized that they could not win that struggle without the support of the black community. And what Bridges did was to go to black churches and make an appeal to the black community to stop crossing the picket line and to join it. And in exchange for that, blacks would be included in the ILWU, which is one of the reasons why I'm standing in front of you today. Now, the moral of that story is this. Longshoremen understand the importance of community picket lines. And I want to remind longshoremen how different our history would be if the black community had not honored that picket line. That was a very important moment in our history. Many of you have heard about the position of the International regarding this action. They are not supporting it. Neither is my local. We have a Democratic union and we haven't had a chance to actually take a vote on this matter. But I want to remind everyone here that the ILWU locals have autonomy, which means that we have the ability to speak out, even if it means that we differ from our leadership. This is not the first time that there has been a difference of opinion between the rank and file and the leadership. In 1977, at Pier 27 in San Francisco, on an Easter Sunday, there was a community picket line of thousands of people who came out to oppose a ship from South Africa carrying South African cargo. The longshoremen did not cross that picket line. That set into motion a rigorous opposition of apartheid, leading to longshoremen in ILWU Local 10 refusing to unload cargo from South Africa for 11 days in 1984. One of the most sparkling and daring achievements of the labor movement in the modern era. It made such an impact that when Nelson Mandela came to the Bay Area, he acknowledged the ILWU. But I just want to remind you, when we took that action, that was an independent rank and file action not supported by our international. But in subsequent years, our international president got on board and was one of many labor notables who got arrested in front of the South African consulate. I want to remind every longshoreman who is within an earshot of my voice, if we go through community picket lines, then how do we expect to get the support of the community? Because in 2014, we will be negotiating our contract. We have always had the community's support. And I just want to leave people with this. The American working class is in a state of emergency. This is the reason for the actions being taken in Washington, D.C., led by such labor leaders as Mary Kay Henry from SEIU. We are in a state of emergency for the working class. American workers are living lives of quiet desperation. We believe that the sanctity of the contract must be subordinate to the overriding concerns of the community. The only time that working people in this country receive any kind of concession is when we do something that costs the bosses money. That was the reason why the ILWU was able to win that strike in 1934. We were the ILA then. It was because people understood the importance of workers having the right to a hiring hall and collective bargaining. I'm going to wind up with this. Historically, the ILWU has been on the cutting edge of many social movements. And it is for that reason that now that the Occupy Oakland and the Occupy movement is coming to the defense of the ILWU. Thank you. You know, if you want the official position, go to the website of the ILWU and you can receive that. But let me make a follow-up comment about what you're discussing. In my opinion, the Occupy movement has significantly re-energized the labor movement. Only 7% of the private sector belongs to a union. That's the lowest since 1900. Just almost a year ago, we witnessed the meltdown in Madison, Wisconsin, with the attack on the public sector workers. Workers, and unions in particular, are on, well, we're in trouble. And in my opinion, labor should be the one leading this movement. Longshoremen, Teamsters can shut this entire country down. That's the most important industrial sector in this country. But it is not coming from organized labor. It's coming from young people. And I believe that it is important for people to understand that there is a major disconnect between the officialdom of labor and the needs and desires of the working class. And we need to make that quite clear. If we want to be able to change the dialogue and discussion in Washington, D.C., working people have got to use their leverage. And the only leverage we have is the ability to withhold our labor or to engage in sit-ins, civil disobedience. That's what's going on right now. Marches and rallies are helpful, but that does not bring about change.